You are now listening to the LanceScurv Show, the boldest spot on internet radio.
Pastor makes congregants drink deadly Rattex poison to show their faith. Dear Lord, the Eddie Long blind following syndrome is alive and well in Africa. A South African pastor is causing a stir online for encouraging his congregants to drink deadly rat poison to show their faith. At a Christian conference held at Grace Living Hope Ministries, Pastor Light Monyeki fed faith-filled congregants rat poison mixed with water to reportedly nourish their bodies and heal the sick on Saturday. The man of God, Prophet Light Monyeki, demonstrates power of faith by causing congregants to drink Rattex, deadly poison to show forth their faith. As he was doing that, he said, "We do not need to proclaim faith because we are believers. If Naopi boys can smoke Rattex for more than 8 years, who are we? Death has no power over us," the church noted in a Facebook post along with pictures of the pastor presenting the poison. Then he declared life from above upon the water mixed with Rattex, and spoke nourishment unto bodies and healing unto the sick. A multitude of congregants voluntarily ran to the front to have a drink of the deadly poison. After declaring nourishment and healing, Prophet Light was the first one to drink, the church added. According to the Sowetan, Naopi is a highly addictive drug made from a range of ingredients from low-grade heroin dagger rat poison and detergents containing chlorine and ammonia. Many critics of the pastor, however, were not amused with Monyeki's public antics and challenged him to demonstrate the power of God more constructively. Go to the hospitals and demonstrate the power of healing on people with strokes and people who are comatose. Do not poison people and call it an act of power. The Lord said his people will be misled for a lack of knowledge. Let us be careful of false prophets, warned Metledi Tholo. Light, first of all, you are not a prophet, at least not of the God in heaven. You don't know what the word prophet means. You and all who are like you, the snakes, grass, doom, and whatever prophets. All these things you are doing to the desperate people of God. You will give an account for this. I pray that you repent and forsake your evil ways. You claim to be a prophet, but you don't know that your time is limited here on earth. Please confess and repent before it's too late for you. God cares about you more than he cares about anything else. It is unclear if this move by Monyeki is a public stunt, but there is a history of pastors in the predominantly Christian country making unconventional requests of their congregants. In 2014, the miracle worker, Pastor Lezego Daniel of Rabani Center Ministries in South Africa, convinced members of his church to eat grass, and those who followed his command claimed the grass gave them strength and healing. That was then followed in 2015 by controversial young prophet Penuel Mguni, who allegedly commanded a snake to turn into chocolate. Then he had his parishioners feast on the reptile as a show of their faith in God's power. He was later arrested for animal cruelty. Listen up, people. These cults, these organizations, it's a circus. And more when I'm hearing of stunts like this. And not only just the stunts from these wayward so-called pastors, but the people who follow behind these guys. You all need to be checked into a mental institution. For crying out loud, this is 2017. And yes, I do believe in a God. I do believe in a higher power. So that unknown person who keeps texting me and asking me, do I believe you're one of Eddie Long's followers who thinks because I talk a certain way about how he lived his life that he's God. And so if I'm talking bad about your God who just passed away in January, I must be an atheist. But you know what? I know more atheists that have a belief in an order and have more common sense with what they do and are kinder, gentler people. Now, see, look, we have to go in on this, y'all. I see more hate, more envy, more jealousy, more vindictiveness, more bitterness in the church, and for many who are raised in the church who are not even there anymore. The best people that I know have never set foot in a church as far as how they treat their fellow human being. What kind of joker is this to want to feed his congregation rat poison, knowing that they're going to drop dead? What kind of Jim Jones complex ego type thing I can get them to do anything? And the way he's holding up the bottle to the young lady's mouth, I could imagine what else he's been doing. Very symbolic. Read between the lines. What makes a person want to be this way? And what makes people want to follow someone like this? Is it a need to be led? Did these people not have parents that were a strong influence in their life and they're looking to be led? It's a kind of nourishment for their soul that if I follow this person, they will take care of me. Was that somehow interrupted when they were young and they need someone to take charge and take control and command them to do things? Let's go deep for a second. Let's look at people, and this may seem as though it may not be related, but it is related. A person's sexual habits can tell you a whole lot about that person. You can have a woman or a man, but I'm a man, so I'm going to speak about women. And this is not a bad thing. This is an assessment for some women. You could have a woman who is dominant in the outside world, not in a bad way, right? Not in an evil way, a vindictive way, but dominant, meaning that she's doing the damn thing. She's holding down her earnings, her work, her job, whatever it may be, her career. She pays her bills. She keeps herself fit. She's intimidating to most of the jokers out here who have nothing in their mind, right? But then she gets that one man, right, behind closed doors, and we see what she really is. Sexually, she might be more than ever submissive. So we see someone in the outside world who's walking strong, but behind closed doors, you want me to suck it for you, Daddy? Am I doing it good for you, Daddy? I'm going to make sure that not one drop sees sunlight, Daddy. Is it okay for me to burp after I swallow, Daddy? Now, I'm not trying to be lewd, but there are people out there that have a hidden submissive chip inside of them. And these people can spot them. This is the same, and I mean, these pastors can spot them. This is the same syndrome when you see a bum, sagging pants, a mumble rapping type dude, ain't got no sense, have no money, have no job, have no place. Maybe his mama might let him sleep in the garage or the basement until she kicks him out. Got nothing going on for him. But then you see him walking down the street with a decent, well-dressed, professional, corporate type of young lady who drives a luxury car. And she treats him like a king. You see, we as human beings, birds of a feather flock together. And you have these people who are so ready to drink rat poison. There is definitely something missing in their lives. And you have these so-called pastors. And kudos to the good pastors out there. I'm not saying all of them. But those of you who are good pastors, you need to open up your mouth and start talking about what's going on in the church. Because your silence makes me want to give you now the side eye. Are you all involved in this stuff? Because there's a lot of things out there that you should be talking about. But it's like a code. Certain things you pastors are not going to talk about. Certain deceptions that are going on. I'm finding out a lot. And it's not just off of a YouTube video. I'm finding out a whole lot. And I'm going to compile a list And this might be off topic right now. I'm going to compile a list of things that I want to talk about, and I'm going to reach out to the pastors and let's see if they squirm in their pants. And I want to speak to each one separately, over the phone or in person, on these particular topics. And I want to hear all of their answers. I don't want to get them together collectively where they can hear each other's answers. But I do believe that there is some hierarchy in the church, and especially the black church, combined with the ignorance and willingness to do stupid things like this. Well, you know what? That bottle of rat poison that pastor drank first, it's okay. Well, you see the one I have here in my hand? Not that it would be me drinking that stuff, right? Pastor, take this one. And you watch. He's not going to do it because it was probably just water that he drank. That man needs to, he murdered those people, man. Yes, they decided on their own accord to drink that poison, but the influence that he has over them, it's like a father or a mother, a parent whose child has complete faith in their word because the parent is the closest thing to God that child knows. And so the parent says, do this and do that, and they blindly follow. These pastors found a way to be so influential and draw these people toward them. When you have a dominant personality and you have a little bit of flash, a little bit of charisma, there are people who come towards you to help you in your cause. And usually they have a touch of that submissive thing. If not a touch, a whole lot of it. This is how pimps find prostitutes to go out in the street and sell their bodies and risk harm and danger and diseases and all types of spiritual demonic infestations and come back and bring that money back to that man. And he feels entitled to this money. So therefore, there's not much of a difference between pimps and pastors. It's the same talent and ability and influence. They just happen to use it differently. But in this case, is it really different? Is this man any different than a pimp who slaps his women down for not bringing home enough money? I mean, why would he want to treat these people in the congregation who are bringing him money so bad? He's sick. The people who are following him are sick, and the hierarchy of the church all over the world for not calling out a man like this. They are sick too. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at LanceScurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under LanceScurv.